Link engaged.
Visit us at teamspeak.com.
Welcome back to the madness that is a 4 vs 4 tournament, aka TL Open number 23. There's the shout out, chill, get out. So big shout out to the red team.
Get out. Never gets old.
It doesn't.
It never gets old. So once again, we are on this. I had the name
Extinction.
Of the map. Extinction. It's aptly named because stuff dies really fast here.
And we can see a common trend here. Both teams going with 2 Zerg players. I think we're probably going to see both of them going for variants of speed only, like speedlings only. It'll be interesting to see and keep an eye on if they're going extractor first or spawning pool first.
Oh, Perseverance playing with a broken wrist apparently. Sucks to be that guy. Zerg, Terran. It does. Also aptly named. Zerg, Terran against Zerg, Terran, Protoss. I do think in team games the presence of Zerg players means, one, you can't wall off, so you're a little bit vulnerable, and two, you have that access to the early speedlings, which it looks like we are going to see out of every Zerg player. So the fact that there's 2 Zergs against 2 Zergs, though, I feel like that should kind of negate the pressure here. Maybe we'll see this game drag out a little longer.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about the spawn points here is that both of the Zergs are vulnerable in the early game, as you pointed out, but they've both gotten the back spawns. So that would be your target the Zerg, but because they're tucked away in the back, that should give a little bit of a defensive advantage to both sides, try to push the game out further into the mid-game.
At least that's how I would like to call it, but you never know in these 4v4s where things happen so freaking fast. Looks like some gas going down for our Terran players, for, I guess we'll call them the red team. Is that Beastie? That is Beastie. Empire Beastie is playing on this team. So Beastie is a very, very good European Terran player, always around the top 5 in the Grandmaster League over here on Europe. Beastie asking, who is your leader? Maybe they want to target him first.
Exactly, the dark. The cybernetics core now started for our Protoss player. We've got some Zerglings running around to go to Zergling battle. Back by Marines. Pushed back are the red Zerglings. We're going to see speed finish up in quite a bit still. It's got about a minute left on it. And then the Zergs will really have map control here. We've got some jabs going on in the blue base on the left side, but looks like blue is going to be able to hold that down for the time being.
Yeah, nice little keep-away game happening on both sides of the map, quite frankly. These Lings and Marines look like they might be applying some pressure here. The Chill Get Out was actually trying to tech pretty hard. He's thrown down the factory, and I feel like that might have been to his detriment. There's a bunker completing right at the top of his ramp, and if this goes up, Chill, I think we might be seeing another short game.
We might be seeing Chill get out. And look at the red Zerglings are actually being reinforced to come from the western side to try to flank this. This is a big problem for Chill Get Out. The Lings trying to hold off reinforcements, trying to dance back and forth, but the red team needs to get their western Lings back and flank.
The bunker does complete. Now there are Marines in that bunker. These Hellions are going to be really, really helpful against all these light units for, I guess, both the Zerg and the Terran there on the blue side. But Chill Get Out is still taking so much damage.
And he's actually been supply blocked now, as he's at 20 of 19, now getting the Hellions to take out those Lings. The Lings on the western side for the red team are still bouncing back and forth. Looks like they're going to poke into the Zerg base, which is a little bit vulnerable. May be able to pick up some drone kills here.
Oh man, this base is so exposed, but as soon as the Lings get there, the reinforcing guys come up from the other side. A couple drones may be falling down there. The Queen does fall, so that's a small win. But I don't think that was huge damage.
No, definitely not worth it. And with our Zerg player now having the Baneling nest, they'll be able to put up a few Banelings and defend that. We've got Hellions running into the main base of blue, trying to take down a lot of probes as the Zerglings are trying to help. He gets a few swipes on those probes, but not too many.
Those are Beastie's Hellions, and he is doing everything he can to do some good damage with them. Not really getting all that economic damage, but killing quite a few Lings there. And some Banelings being morphed here on the top side of the map. Those are going to be really good, as every unit in play right now is actually a light unit.
Right, we've got Zerglings flanking from red, going to lock down the Stalkers, so the Hellions and Zerglings able to lock down the Stalkers. Hellions moving in to swipe on the Banelings. Banelings going to get a few taken out. He's got to get those probes that are clumped up, but no, he's trying to take out the Zerglings. Madness going on back and forth.
Which way to go. And it looks like finally these the Ling's gonna be dealt with. Look at this! So much pressure coming from both sides here. All these pros have been pulled.
So many red units now flooding on the western side. Blue has completely lost control of the western side. Trying to hit with the Baneling. One whiffs. Another one whiffs. And now red has complete control over the western front. The eastern blue team needs to get back. And looks like they're going to call GG. Wow.
GG there. So, wow, that was pretty exciting. Some really nice control there being shown by every player, in my opinion. Beastie and Perseverance really getting the better of the micro battles there, but I gotta say, Fade a hell of a fight there, keeping those probes alive virtually the whole time in the face of Zergling Hellion pressure, which is pretty impressive. There was a ton of damage and pressure being dealt on the bottom half of the map by Titus as he was pushing on Chill get out, but at the end of the day, Chill did not get out. He hung around long enough to see his team through that one, and I gotta say, man. That was pretty frantic and exciting.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that game to me was that the blue team, I believe, top right, pushed on the eastern front, and they actually got completely into the main base of Chill Get Out enough to really disrupt his build. But, you know, the red team kind of gave up that front. They defended well enough that they weren't in any immediate danger, took all their forces and counterattacked up the west. And that's the nice thing about that map, because to get from the right side or the east side to the west side, it's so long. You have to run all the way back up and through your main base. It takes a long time. Right. So if you commit to an attack on one side, you're going to be weak on the other side, and that was exactly what got exploited there in that game.
Yeah. And I love seeing games that go that way, that are won with good positioning and good, exploitation of your opponent and where he is on the map, and that was really cool. There was, like you said, a big commitment of units to that attack at the front of Chill Get Out space, and Beastie and his teammate Perseverance are just realizing that and going and dealing some really nice damage, which eventually locked up that game.
Well, I think the one thing we've learned so far, MrBitter, is that these games are fast and furious. Not any of them making it to the 10-minute mark thus far. I believe the last game was 7 and change. I've got game number 2 loaded up.
As do I, sir.
Okay, so with that being said, we're going to move into series number 2, game number 2, right after this.
Link engaged.
Visit us at Teamspeak.com.
Okay, welcome back to game number 2. The losers have chosen low ground cannon rush map. We'll have to see if that comes true. Chill good luck, or Chill Get Out offering good luck here. We're back with the same racial matchup. We've got 2 Zergs on both players, and we saw how pivotal they were in the early game, controlling that space just enough until the Hellions got out to finish the job.
I would call this Scenic August Sunset map.
Or Hidden Gold expansions. Especially that top right. I've won many a game by taking that top right.
Yeah. I can see it. So we've got the red team. I guess red and blue is just the easiest way to do it. Red team spawning down here in the bottom left, or I guess bottom right, and the blue team, the winners of our last game, featuring Chill Get Out and Empire Beastie up in the top left. Really curious to see how this one goes, Chill. The map is, in my opinion, pretty similar.
Right.
To the one we just saw, with I guess the exception being you have all 4 players sharing a high ground base.
Yeah, and on this map it's very easy to defend because you're all concentrated in that little position. So especially if we get to the mid game and Mutalisk Crest starts going on, it's very easy for one player not to have any anti-air on this map and just have 2 players with, say, Marines and Stalkers patrolling around defending them. You also have only 2 ramps. One of them is huge, one of them a little bit smaller. But we can see the Terran players on the blue team going to work walling those off, and that gives you a little bit more defense than the options you have on the map we saw in game number 1.
Okay, yeah, I can see it. I think it's funny that you said we might see Mutalisks in the mid game. What defines a mid game in a 4v4, man? Because
I don't know.
If you were to ask me, I would say mid game is the point where you pull your drones off gas and start Zergling speed.
That's true. It does seem to go that way, but you know, the games I've played have not looked like this, so maybe 4v4 much more rush oriented than I originally thought.
Yeah, so we got a 2 here by Beastie. He's going to put a tech lab down on one of them, so he's going to be getting some upgrades here. We've got the same characteristic early lings out of both of the, or I guess all 4 of the Zerg players, and just a little bit of micro and I guess battling for map troll starting to shape up here.
Right, absolutely. It's interesting to see that Beastie is going for that 2 racks. We can see that Chill Get Out is going with the factory reactor, as we saw in game number 1. And the red Terran is also following a similar route, going with that factory reactor add-on. We can see some blue lings doing a little bit of harassment.
Doing poking up here into the base. I think these are going to be more scouting lings. I don't expect them to be able to kill much with all this stuff chasing them. I will say this, Chill. I know in 2v2 that Zergling Hellion is a really effective unit composition. I kind of feel like that's just what the blue team's sort of aiming for here. It just on a larger scale, it being a 4v4. Yeah,
I'm interested to see if we look at Fade, the red Protoss. He's got a Twilight Council going down already, and he's got 2 gas up. So Red's plan might be to play a little bit more defensive and just go straight for DTs.
Yeah, with much gas, DTs is basically the only thing it can be. And I would say this game's going to hinge on whether or not the blue team catches onto this and gets some detection out. Right. At this rate, though, I don't think they're going to be able to. They have that 1 orbital, or I guess they have 2 orbitals technically, so they'll have some scans, but still, scans are precious things in 4v4.
We can see blue putting a lot of pressure on the eastern wall front. They have the wall, but they have nothing that is ranged, and here comes some Hellions trying to take those down, but Beastie has some Marauders, and that's going to be able to crack those Hellions and crack down that wall oh so quickly. Ling's trying to come out to do some damage, but there are some blue Hellions to reinforce, and this is just madness as everyone is trying to get in position. Dark Shrine at about 50%, so it's got a long way to go before those DTs are going to be able to help.
Stuff trying to squeeze through that little bitty crack right there, and it's just chaos on both sides. I feel like the red team finally going to be able to get out of there and do some nice damage. And I really feel like this blue team is overextended a bit. BC's going to lose the majority. Well, Zerglings are really good with Marauders.
Yeah, we can see Marauders continuing. Looking at quickly at the blue base, Beastie's only making Marauders, Chill Get Out only making Hellions, and the other Zerg players only making Zerglings. Meanwhile, Dark Shrine completes, 4 gates complete. Is he going to warp in those defensive DTs, or is he going to put them offensively?
They are going to be defensive here. I guess they feel like there's just too much stuff here to warrant getting aggressive. There are the DTs. Beastie goes, DT! In all caps. The scan goes down, but it's really not going to be enough.
Yeah,
Units are auto-targeting the Zerglings, and all the DTs actually survive. Fate says, obviously.
We've got the engineering bay going down now for the blue Terran, and we've got an Evo chamber going up for Zerg. They have no other detection options other than scan, trying to take out those DTs. One is still loose in the middle, and are these red pylons? Or am I seeing things in Beastie's base?
There are red pylons going up, and Fade's just saying, "Hey, guess what, Beastie? I'm gonna warp in DTs in your main. What are you gonna do about it?" Because Beastie doesn't have enough energy to scan, and neither does his teammates. So these DTs are gonna have free reign for at least 5 more seconds.
Trying to go to work to get some damage done. Zealots get taken out, but the DTs are still there. We can see the hologram of a turret trying to go up. Scan finally goes off. So those DTs are going to get taken out, but DTs and Lings are flooding in on the eastern front. Turret up there, so they're going to be able to hold it down. And look at this, in the top left, more pylons being put up. Oh my god.
Beastie, man. He's like, in all caps, every time he sees something. Pro! So.
All the pylon completes, but nothing's going to get warped in there. The pylon's going to get pulled down. And Bitters,
oh, man,
Mr. Bitter, I think we've arrived at the late game.
This is officially
this is the late game.
4v4. We're 9 minutes into this thing, and it still could go either way. Really, a pretty even game in my opinion. I think with all this low-tech Zerglings and Hellions, if some Archons maybe were made with this DT tech, that could really swing things one way or the other.
Well, the Templar Archives is now finished for Fade. The bottom right red Protoss is going to warp in some High Templars, and those are probably going to be made into Archons. Yes, there they go merging. Big attack is coming on the east side for the blue team, trying to get a lot of Zerglings in.
Oh,
Marauders, but those aren't good against Zerglings.
Yeah, the Hellion is being actually very well microed.
Blue Flame Hellions!
Oh my god! It's happening everywhere at the same time, chilling. Oh my word, so many drone kills there. Oh no!
Oh, don't do that!
Oh my god!
Oh my god, it's mad. Oh, now they're stacking up yet again. Archon's desperately trying to get in there to deal with these Blue Flame Hellions.
They're just too slow, man. Every probe
30
dies.
kills.
Every drone has died. If you were to look at the... oh wait, you can't pull up the Workers Lost tab, but I promise you if we could, it would be asinine.
That,
oh my gosh.
Well, one of the Zerg players has 5 Harvesters, so that's not a good scene.
Yeah, 5 Harvesters, 4 probes for his Protoss opponent. So not looking good for our red team here. As I feel like with that kind of economic damage being dealt, I think the blue team is going to pull well ahead here.
Yeah, I think the red team tried to play like a bit of a gimmicky build with the DTs, and I think just the more solid style of Hellion Marauder Ling is going to win out at the end, but this is going to be a very strong push with 3 Archons, a lot of Marauders in this composition, as well as a few Hellions and Zerglings to mix it out.
Yeah, you know, Fade's able to make Archons with high Templar, which are pretty cheap in terms of minerals, only 50 minerals and 150 gas, and if his teammates are pumping gas his way, he could make a lot of Archons. This push is going to be kind of scary, but oh man, there's just so many Marauders.
Yeah, we've got Zerglings trying to surround and Hellions trying to also do damage, and there's a stim forward with the Marauders. They're going to push in and crush everything, and that is going to be it. A solid macro game and a 2-0 performance for our blue team.
Yeah, that was exciting. I'm really curious to see how Beastie's team is going to play against these Koreans, man. The Koreans look absolutely scary, but I think this the blue team, the team with Chill Get Out, whatever you want to name them, I really think that they've got a good thing going here with this Hellion Zergling Marauder mix.
I call them Chill Get Out. It's yeah, it is interesting because you know the Koreans went, if I'm not crazy, they went Zerg Zerg Protoss Protoss, whereas the Beastie team or Chill Get Out team are Zerg Zerg Terran Terran. So, I mean, they both have the backbone of Zerglings, but it's interesting that one team's going to be going Hellions, and the other one is going to favor more Stalkers. I think that could lead to an interesting dynamic in our finals.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I'm loading up our first finals replay right now, and, you know... it's really cool seeing the Zerg Zerg team against the Zerg Zerg team because it sounds kind of funny to say that, but because you know in the first game we saw where one team was just able to punish Megalisk because he was the only Zerg player, he had no real way of defending it. It really tilted those games, but we can see that from the 2 games we just saw there, when you have double Zerg, it does force, I guess, a mid game of sorts. So I feel like Chill Get Out team is playing quite well, and they could give these Koreans a run for their money.
Yeah, I definitely agree that I think we're learning on maps where everyone has their own choke, at least. You definitely need 2 Zergs. It would be kind of like playing 2v2 where you're in separate bases without a Zerg. You know, the one Zerg is able to isolate and deal damage. He's just so mobile in the early game, and when you bring it to 4v4, well, you need double the Zerg. So that's what we're seeing here with both teams, having 2 Zergs. It's going to be an interesting dynamic. We're going to be on, what does this map look like? Oh, is this the one with the back door? Oh no.
Yeah, this is Proxy Hatch High Ground Froggy map. Wait, no, there's no high ground in the middle. This isn't the map I thought it was. I don't know, man. I don't have a name for this one.
I don't think I've played this map.
This is, what's that? Did you ever play World of Warcraft?
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
Okay, so I'm showing my true nerd colors. But I'll keep that thought to myself then.
Okay, well, I know with our very ample description, everyone knows the map we're talking about, but we won't keep them wondering for much longer. We're going to jump into the finals and reveal which map we're on right after this.